everybody, welcome back. We are reading the Pocket Buddha. The title is Buddha Reader, the Pocket Buddha Reader. Alright, we are on page 6 there. That people are unknowing does not mean that they are unknowing like cows or goats. Even ignorant people look for a pathway to reality. Look for a pathway to reality. But searching for it, they often misunderstand what they encounter. They pursue names and categories instead of going beyond the name to that which is real. Digha Nikaya. One day, a bright and intelligent disciple of the Buddha asked if he could fetch his younger brother to join the order. Delighted, the Buddha agreed. But the younger brother, although kind and gentle, turned out to be slow and dull-witted. He could understand nothing of his studies and asked to go home so that he wouldn't waste the Buddha's time or let down his brother. "There's no need for you to give up," said the Buddha. "You should not abandon your search for liberation just because you seem to yourself to be thick-witted. You can drop all the philosophy you've been given and repeat a mantra instead, one that I will now give you." He gave the young monk a mantra and sent him away affectionately. But soon the monk was back, this time even more humiliated. "My beloved Buddha, I can't remember the mantra you gave me, and so I can no longer practice." The Buddha kindly repeated it for him, but twice more he came back, having forgotten it each time. So the Buddha gave him a simplified form. But when this too slipped completely out of his mind, he hardly dared visit the Buddha again. "There's an even shorter version," the Buddha told him with a smile. "It's just 2 syllables. See if you can remember that." But he could not. In his hut, he broke down and wept. His brother found him and was furious, feeling that his own reputation was now sullied. He told the young monk to go home, and so the boy left the hut and sadly moved his way along the path. As he neared a grove of trees, he met the Buddha coming from it. The Buddha smiled and took his hand. Together they went to a temple where the 2 old monks were sweeping the floor. The Buddha said to them, "This young monk will live here with you from now on. Continue your sweeping, and as your brooms move back and forth, say the 2-syllable mantra that I will now give you. Don't stop until I come back." The young monk sat down and listened to the movement of the brooms to and fro over the floor. He heard the whispered rhythm of the mantra as it was repeated over and over again. This went on for many weeks, and before the Buddha came back, the young monk had found full liberation, and so had the 2 old monks. Majjhima Nikaya. Oh, you see? I like that because it doesn't just rank IQ the most important thing to human salvation and liberty and contentment, right? Salvation, whatever you want to put it on. Today we often worship at the altar of IQ, right? Everyone's like, "Oh, you're so smart. Oh my gosh, you're the best." And then we degrade everyone else who can't live up to that. But the Buddha is like, you know what? I'm going to have patience. I'm going to help this person, even though their mind may not grasp certain philosophical concepts. At the same time, just got to work with this student how I need to work with this student. It's also a good message for teachers, especially for elementary school teachers, right? Have patience and constancy and take each student to their ability. I like it. The next one says, "Since your mind is not physical, no one else can destroy it. But because of its attachments to the body, it is harmed by physical suffering." Bodhicharavaratara. Look at that. Now that's a very symbolical yet esoteric yet exoteric type of phrasing, right? The mind is not physical. Indeed, we know the brain is physical, but the mind, right? What's going on, these little things going on inside, no one else can destroy it. You can, if you let them too much inside of you, then they can, right? And look, the attachments to the body. "Oh, well, you know what? I don't have perfect this. I don't have perfect that. I want longer this. I want this to be a lighter color." Like, You can make yourself have a lower self-esteem just by constantly fixing what it is that you perceive to be wrong with you based off of judgments of other people. Wow. It is harmed by physical suffering. Interesting. Wow. There's so many different ways you can take that compact phrase, and just go off on all these different routes and really examine it. A Jain argued with the Buddha. You say that all things are changing and therefore have no permanent self. But plants depend on the earth for their growth, and in the same way, a person is material and has needs and feelings and so on. So I say that this material shape and everything to do with it is myself. Do you have the power then to change your shape so that it is taller or shorter? Asked the Buddha. No, the Jain admitted. Are material objects permanent? No. Is it wise then to think of impermanent material objects such as yourself, your shape, as belonging to you or as yourself? No, that would be wrong, said the Jain. And I'm sorry if I spoke in an aggressive way. How do your disciples come to reach your understanding? Having directly seen and realized all things, even thoughts and emotions as they really are, they are able to say, this is not mine, this is not me, this is not myself. In this way, they are freed from their deluded attachment to themselves. Majjhima Nikaya. Look at that. Wow. Your thoughts, your emotions, see them for what they really are. Temporary moments of consciousness in various degrees. Wow. Very interesting. This is not me, this is not myself. And then that will help you to become more free and less attached in the world, which then will help you not suffer as much. Brilliant. I mean, it's just brilliant. Very relaxing in a sense. This whole idea is just so contrast to the culture we have today. It's very, very ancient wisdom.